Today I begin my journey to become a legendary alchemist. To do this, I will have to achieve every single achievement inside this game. Along the way, I'll be required to research and brew many different kinds of potions, which will fund the repair and upgrade of an alchemy machine. To assist with that, we are given an enchanted garden that we can expand to grow potion ingredients, as well as a rather diverse skill tree to help us on our journey to become a master alchemist. Without further ado, this is my 100% playthrough of Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator. We start off with a quick tutorial on how to navigate the alchemy map. The game also teaches how to make a potion of health, as well as a potion of poison. It also quickly covers the selling mechanics and how to tend to the enchanted garden. From there, it tells us to go to bed, and we wake up and we are free to explore the world ourselves. From there, we are able to explore the map and discover our frost potion, and by lining it up properly within its icon on the map, we are able to actually get our very first achievement of only your strongest potions. I would like to quickly apologize for the fact that the little Steam icon's not appearing at the bottom right. I didn't realize that OBS did not have it captured, set up properly, and yeah, so I'm just going to be throwing the icons on and let you guys know what we achieved when we achieve it. From there, the game tells us we want to go look in our basement and see that there is a very broken alchemy machine down below. It suggests that we might be able to fix it later on. From here, we head into the skill tree and pick up bulk brewing, as well as some herbalist skills that will increase the amount of ingredients we get from our garden out back. And then from there, it tells us to go to bed, which results in us completing chapter 1 and rewarding us with another achievement. The next day, we spend a little bit of time exploring the alchemy map and craft our very first fire potion, as well as acid, dexterity, a light potion, lightning, mana, sleep, swiftness, wild growth, and stone skin. With all these potions being learnt, I decided to buy some more recipe paper, which allows us to keep recipes stored inside our recipe book, allowing us to craft potions without having to go through the alchemy map every single time. It also allows us to use the bulk brew feature that we just unlocked, which allows us to save on ingredients when we brew 5 potions at once. We were then visited by a merchant that sold us seeds for future potion ingredients. However, even with all those potions we found earlier, we still have not completed the chapter. So after locating the explosive potion and finding strength was right beside where we started, as well as literally right next to our stone skin potion, I don't know how we missed this. We were then able to add the stone skin effect to our strength potion and complete the last achievement to complete chapter 2, which was have a potion with 2 different effects. Chapter 3 had us create a potion with 3 effects. I used poison, iron skin, and discovered slowness when I was looking around. Next, the game wanted me to create a potion with a custom name or appearance. I don't know why this was a requirement, but all it actually wanted me to do was go either into my recipe book and change the name of a potion and then just craft it, which it's really not that difficult. I named it Big Health because I'm very original, as you might be able to tell. Shortly after this, a wizard came by and sold us the alchemy machine, which unlocked us the achievement Breaking Bad, which I found slightly amusing. This purchase also resulted in us completing Chapter 3. Chapter 4 begins with us exploring the map a little bit and unlocking Rage, followed by Libido. And as we continue exploring, we did stop and collect a big book of experience for one of our objectives, and found Charm. While we were out, we realized we already had 3 potion effects, so we stopped back at Swiftness and added that to our objectives completed. From there, all we had left was a potion of magical sight to find. Along the way of looking for that, we found a potion of invisibility, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's a potion right there that has a question mark, which means I haven't found it yet. I did notice this, and I continued on looking for magical sight, when if I would have just stopped here, I would have been done the chapter, but no. Instead, I found levitation, lightning protection, and gluing, which might not sound that big of a deal, but I was so far away from the center of the map that not only was I at the edge of the map itself, even fully zoomed out, you could not see where I was when you're looking at the center. Like, I could not see the center and my potion location at the same time. However, after this, I did take a break and sold some stuff to our customers, and was offered a lovely void salt recipe from the good old wizard, which I bought without hesitation. I did eventually return to look for the magical vision, but I wasn't too impressed with myself. There's magic sight. Why was that so difficult? I don't know. Well, that's chapter 4. Let's go into chapter 5. For chapter 5, we turned our focus onto void salt, and outside of this weird potion you see here, really wasn't much of an issue. We did accidentally brew the potion in reverse with the dexterity speed. I did dexterity and speed instead of speed and dexterity. In hindsight, I don't actually know if it mattered. I never actually checked it, so maybe I redid it again for no reason, but The 5 effect potion really wasn't too big of a deal. It was a little bit tedious, but I didn't have any issues with it, so that's great to know. And it achieved us the 5 different potion effects in one potion, so 2 birds, 1 stone was quite nice. From there, we were able to craft Void Salt and get another achievement, which is always nice to see. Here's a quick update on our skill tree. It's not looking too shabby. We've kind of branched out into a couple more options as well. We were also lucky enough to have the lovely moose-looking bull thing come by and sell us an upgrade to a cave, so now we can grow mushrooms as well as some other items down below, which is always nice to have more things. We then turned our attention to exploring the alchemy map a little bit further. During this, we discovered the potion of fragrance, slipperiness, and fire protection. While we were all the way out at this part of the map, we were also able to pick up a very big book of experience to complete that objective as well. After a little while, a lovely wizard came by and sold us an upgrade to our alchemy machine, which was another easy achievement. Shortly after this, the Crystalmancer came by offering crystal seeds, which I could not afford. We then turned our attention into finding the potion of necromancy. We had a little bit of a magic vision situation again, where I went around the whole map and discovered a bunch of other potions, such as hallucination, inspiration, fear, enlargement, frost protection, curse, acid protection, poison protection, regeneration. I later discovered that it was right to the bottom left of the map where I didn't think I could access, but apparently all those rocks have been hoarding over the last 22 days, that it's just right here and I can use them to teleport through the dangerous spot on the map, and necromancy's just chilling. Just right here, like. And with the completion of this potion, Chapter 5 is also completed. Chapter 6 is the chapter that I learn what world pearls actually do. If you're on top of one and you use your blower, it'll teleport you a short distance across the map. Would have been nice to know about 8 hours ago, but I digress. Shortly after this, the alchemist slash wizard slash whatever he is came by and sold us the oil base, which unlocked the achievement Slippery Business, as well as a whole new alchemy map to explore. I took this opportunity to increase my map visibility radius because I had no idea where I was supposed to be going, and explore the map a little bit. I was a little bit fearful of this little weird spot on the map, but it turns out it's just oil and it just makes you move slower going through it. I treated it like it was going to kill my potion or something, but it doesn't. Don't know why I was so worried about it. In my explorations, I learned that the oil base is how you get strong protection potions, as well as some other niche potions that we aren't able to get tier 3 by default in the water base. Upon realization of this, I took this as a great opportunity to get a bunch of tier 3 potions saved inside of my recipe book for later use. These potions were poison protection, lightning protection, slipperiness, fire protection, frost protection, and finally stench. This was followed shortly by us reaching max reputation with the village and receiving yet another achievement. I then turned my attention to albedo, where I realized that I missed an ingredient and produce a shiny turd. Luckily, it was for an achievement and it was for one of the easier to produce ones, so I'm not too mad about it. But shortly afterward, I was able to complete albedo, and we were able to move on to Chapter 7. In Chapter 7, we were finally able to afford some actual crystal seeds, which is fantastic, and we tried planting them in the cave, which I spent a long time doing when I did not realize that this is not where you plant them. After that, we decided to go back up to the shop where the good old wizard came in to visit us and sold us the final upgrade for that alchemy machine, which is another lovely achievement for us. We also then bought the wine base from the wizard, which was also nice to have. Not an achievement, but it allows us to craft some other potions much easier, which we'll see in just a little bit. But first, the lovely moose man came back and sold us our crystal cave, which is where we're supposed to be planting the crystals, and I was very glad to have this finally, because I had these $10,000-$20,000 worth of crystal seeds that I was not able to use until now. However, we didn't get to the wine map quite yet, because we had a couple more potions we had to unlock inside the oil map. These included enlargement, poison resistance, rejuvenation, anti-magic, and shrinking. From here, we turn our attention onto the alchemical recipe for Citranus, and upon completing that, we receive another achievement and look into the wine map. This map is something different. We have to use exclusively crystals to get around these points because the whole map is separated by pockets of safety surrounded by danger. And you might be wondering why I'm doing this instead of doing the moonsault, but I could not get the guy to come back. We didn't have enough money last time to purchase the moonsault as well, and he just would not come back. It's been multiple days and he has not returned to sell us the moonsault, so we're just kind of exploring the map and running away on some other achievements as well while we wait for him to return. While exploring the wine-based map, we were able to discover inspiration as well as fear. From here, we did turn our attention back to recipes and completed Rapido, as the recipe wasn't too difficult and we still didn't have the moonsault recipe for some reason. After completing this and receiving the achievement, we did get our first look at the Philosopher's Stone. This one was a 180 from the previous one. The other one was so straightforward and simple, and this one looked pretty messy, and I hoped that this would be the worst we'd get. Luckily, our friend came by and sold us the lovely moonsault recipe, which allowed us to then start brewing potions for moonsault, which was much more straightforward than the Philosopher's Stone looked. And with its completion, we were able to complete the achievement for completing moonsault, as well as the achievement for Chapter 7. From here, Chapter 8 was actually relatively straightforward. Due to the fact we spent so long in Chapter 7 waiting for the guy to sell us moonsault, we were able to only need to complete Fragrance, because everything else was done for Chapter 8. So after spending some time in the oil map and realizing that it's definitely not there, I went to the wine map again and looked around, and within a few minutes I was able to locate it at the bottom right, which resulted in us completing Chapter 8 and of course unlocking another achievement. In Chapter 9 we crafted a Tier 3 potion of luck, hallucination, curse, and like all the other chapters it feels like, we bought the sun salt recipe this time, followed by us crafting sun salt. The recipe wasn't too bad, so it didn't take very long, which I'm very glad to see, because that Philosopher's Stone recipe was still looming over my head. Which, after completing the sun salt, we achieved 2 more achievements as per usual, and at this point I was getting pretty annoyed by how the game was playing. It felt like every chapter was just like, make really annoying recipes, and that was it. It wasn't about selling, it wasn't about pretty much anything, because the only other somewhat achievement that we had to grind towards, like, for 2 seconds was popularity level 15, because at this point we were already popularity of like 13, almost 14, and to get 15 you just have to sell potions, which we were doing all along, and the fact that the stone recipe took so long, we were already pretty much there the time we completed the stone anyways. So after we completed the Philosopher's Stone, we only needed 300 more reputation, which is easily achieved just by playing the game as you work towards the next stones. So we completed the Philosopher's Stone, and shortly after we were offered the life salt recipe from the vendor. It wasn't completely terrible, but I definitely wouldn't want to do it again just for funsies. Either way, I won't bore you with the details, so we did just complete it and received another achievement. Shortly afterward, I needed a break from crafting all this stuff, so I went up and sold some potions and achieved that level 15 reputation as a legendary alchemist. And from there, we bought another salt recipe. All the other salt recipes pale in comparison to this. I took like a week and a half break when I saw this recipe. I'm like, I'm not doing this right now. I already did like so many recipes. I'm not doing it. I will stop real quick though and say, if you are enjoying the video and you have made it this far, if you guys would consider leaving a like and possibly subscribing, it helps me out a ton. But let's get back to the video. I did eventually return for you guys, and I spent an hour and 20 minutes brewing potions. I'm not going to bore you with it. I'll throw a little time lapse up on the screen. But at long last, we finally had the salt completed, Chapter 10 and the Philosopher's Salt achievement completed. And the last one was going to be a home run because it was super simple. All we had to do was reach negative reputation. Right now we had almost max reputation, so all we had to do actually was just reject a bunch of customers at the start. And we lose so much reputation because we're not helping people who need help. And then once we get down to like 20, 30, we can actually just start taking like questionable guests and rejecting good guests. And within like 10, 15 minutes, it was done. Last achievement was acquired. I 100%ed Potion Craft. And although I really don't like the later game, this game is super charming and super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you guys want to see next, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.